of the youth librarians at BB Library, and welcome to Ukulele Kids. And like all the other librarians at BB Library, when I went to college, you don't study libraries, you study something else. We have people that are studied history and people who studied literature and people who studied, it could be anything. And what I studied in college was music. And I love to play, but ukulele was something that's new to me. I picked it up about a year ago and I can't tell you how much I loved it. It's so much fun. It's a happy instrument, and so I am so excited to be able to share this with you. Well, to start off with, the ukulele I'm using today is this one, and it is a concert size. But over the other side here is a picture of the ukuleles at my house. We have a soprano, which is the smallest that we have. And quite often it's the first one that people pick up to play. And then the concert's a little bit larger. And then next to that is the tenor. And all three of them have, the strings are all the same pitch. And then next to that, even bigger, it's like the size of a small guitar, is a baritone. And there on the far end is my bass, which I love to play the bass. And the bass is the one thing that they all just look like a little bit larger versions of the next, except for the bass. If you take a look at the strings of that, they're a whole lot thicker. It's almost like plucking like huge rubber bands. It's very different. So there also are ukuleles that are smaller than a soprano. There's something called a sopranino that's smaller, and even smaller than that is a microlele, which is basically kind of a large fridge magnet. I've never tried one of those. So there's all different kinds of them. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at your instrument. And just like us, we've got a head and a neck and a body. That is the parts of the ukulele. So the head of the ukulele is this bit up here at the top. And the basic thing on that are these little screw things. This is they're called tuners, or also called tuning pegs. And it's what you use to get your strings so they're in the right at the right pitch for you to play. So that is the head of it. The neck starts just below that and goes just down to here. So and let's look at the neck close. The top of the neck is something. This is called the nut. And if I get it really close, get it the right direction, right there, you'll see that there are little slots that the strings kind of go into. And what this does, the nut raises the strings up above. If you look here, you can see that you can kind of see between the strings and the actual neck. And so it raises the strings up and it keeps them separate so they don't bump into each other. Most of this is called the fretboard, and that's that wooden piece that's there in the back. And the fretboard is what we're going to use our left hand to make the chords. And each of these little pieces here, I should have said this can be made of plastic, or it can be made of bone or even stone. And normally, these are called frets. It's that piece that goes across. These are made either of metal or sometimes of plastic. And so there's all these frets. And when you play, you're going to be playing your finger kind of in the middle of the frets. So that's the fretboard. Also on there, most do, not all, some don't. There are these dots. And these dots help you know where you are, because when we play, we're going to be talking about the first fret, the second fret, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth. So each of these are labeled. The dot lets you know that if you play the string in this position, you're playing on the fifth fret. You can just be counting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth, seventh, this one's the 10th, and the last one is the 12th. So most of them have, at least, they usually have the 5th and the 7th in there. And also, not all ukuleles, but some of them also include on the side just very little teeny dots that are also in those same positions. So if you're playing, you can't, you don't have to peek around and see those. You can just kind of look and see that that's where those are. So that is the neck of your instrument, is the nut, the frets, and the fretboard. And the bottom piece of it is just called the body. And the body has two pieces, actually. There's this hole, which is called the sound hole. And when you play, This is this helps the sound and the resonance to make it sound nice. And here at the very bottom is, it looks like another nut, but it's the bridge down here. And this has the same function. It doesn't, most of them don't have little slots. It's just one smooth piece, but because it's tight, that holds well. And they also lift the strings up off of the fretboard so that not everything plays at the same time. So that's what it is. They go the length of it. And then the other very important part of it is the strings. Ukulele has 4 strings. Guitar has 6, but the ukulele has 4. And one thing, because we're going to be tuning it, just means making the strings at the right sound that you want them to be. You need to know the names of these strings. So over here, the first one is a G. This one is a C, and an A, and an E. And to help you remember what those are, I made a little thing I'm putting up now that gives you words that help you remember. So it's goats, there's your G, can, C, eat, E, anything. So goats can eat anything, G, C, A, and E. And the reason why you need to know that is that it, when you play by yourself, it's not as important, but when you play with other people, you all want to be in the same place pitch-wise. So there's a few ways that you can do this. One of which is to use, here's a little tuner. Let me turn it on. Turn it the right way. There we go. Here's just a little tuner. And what that does, you clip it on to your instrument like that. And when you play, I'm going to get down some. When you play the string, I'm going to play the G string. Okay, you can see that it has the letter G there, and you see it's green. That means that it's in tune. And here is, then I'm going to play the next one. C, and my C is in tune. And I'm hoping one's out of tune. There we go. My E is not in tune. So in that case, you're going to, the E string is the third one when you're holding it down. And if you kind of go all the way, kind of trace it all the way up there, this one is the tuning peg you're going to turn. So let me play it again, and I'm going to turn that peg. Ooh, I'm making it even. I want to go the other way. That's too much. Just, I can see the E's there, so we're someplace in E, but we're not quite in tune yet. There we go. There's my E, and the E is good. So if you need to tune, if you just trace your string up, just with your finger, go right up that string, and this is going to be the G string. And if you go up this one, this tuning fret is the one for the C. And if you let your finger run on up here is your A string, and right there is this one is your E string, right there. So you just kind of trace it. One way is to get a tuner like this. They're not very expensive, but if you don't want to get one, there's other things you can do. First of all, there are a couple, just want to get in here, there are a couple there's a website I really like, and it's called Pano. It's an app called Pano, and if you look at it, it looks very similar to what I had there, so I'm going to play. And you can see that that's, in fact, I can't see, it's not a very good thing here. You can see when I play the G, that it turns green, C is green, E is green, but it looks like it's way on the outside of the green. But as long as you're inside the green, you're good. Or another way you can do it is just by using your ear. And so this one is pretty well in tune. I want to show you, if you buy a new ukulele, sometimes I'm reading reviews of ukuleles, because that's one problem when I started playing is I just want to buy more ukuleles, is a lot of things that people will say, these are fantastic. But then if you go and you read the reviews, it says, I bought one for my grandson, and he couldn't use it because it wasn't in tune. They don't come in tune. Here's one, actually. The library has bought some ukuleles that when they get ready, you would be able to borrow. They're cute little sopranos. It's actually a nice little soprano. And so this is one that I took out of the box yesterday and I tuned. And let's hear how it sounds. Not too bad. Because when you first get them, I'm going to show you one. I'm going to take one right out of the box. You can do it by listening. And I put a website up that's up here that is called UTuner that just plays the sound. Ooh, that one's off. If you turn it up toward the ceiling, it gets higher. If you turn it back down toward the floor, the note gets a little bit lower. Let me check that one. That one, I've got to go up toward the ceiling a little bit. And the last one, that one I've got to go up toward the ceiling too. Of each of these videos, or before we start playing, I will play on my ukulele. I'll play it like 4 times, and so that you can actually use my ukulele to like that. Well, I want to show you. So this is one that I tuned yesterday, and one thing that I did when I did tune it. Because they don't stay in tune. You'll see, I'll tune this one, you'll see what happens. But one thing you can do if you've got a new ukulele is when you open it up, and kind of tighten it, you can take and push right down here by the bridge on the strings. Just a little bit to help stretch those strings out. You'll hear that this will be out of tune. And also up here at the top, just above the nut, if you press those strings, that'll help stretch out those strings. You don't want to do it on the instrument itself, right there at the, there on the neck. You want to do it down near the bridge or up there. See, it's out a little bit. So it's not too bad. This one's, usually it can take a couple weeks before your instrument settles and you're not having to tune it a whole bunch. So here's one right in the box that I picked up at the library yesterday. Let's see. It's another soprano. So let me take it out. Let's see what it sounds like when you get a brand new ukulele home. It sounds like this. Ready? All the strings are really, really loose. They do that when they just put the strings on. They do a beautiful job tying them and making them beautiful, but they're totally out of tune. So what you want to do is you want to turn toward the ceiling and get it someplace so when you're plucking it with your thumb, that it doesn't go that much. It doesn't have to worry about what note it is. You want to get it just so that it doesn't just sound floppy. That's pretty good. So you just start off like this. Oh, that one's really... And I guarantee you that when you tune this, it will not stay in tune. It'll take a couple days of tuning to get it. That's why I brought them home. I thought I would tune them all, get them, set them for a few days. Okay, there we go. So now I've got a little bit, and then I'm going to take and I'm going to press on those strings. Just a little bit here, just kind of, and up here, just to help stretch it. So let me see. I got it up there, it's out. Okay. That one's right where it belongs. That's right where it belongs too. That's so funny. It's kind of in tune, but again, if you when you do it, tune it up a little bit, push those strings down, and then try it again, and you will be doing it a lot. It does take really a couple weeks before they kind of settle in. We did ours, like a month ago, and it took a while. So that is tuning. So you can use a clip-on. You can go online to something like Pano, which is what I use, and do that. Or I love UTuner because it just gives you the note. So let's see, how do you start off with this thing? You've got this here, how do you hold it? So first of all, it sits on your lap, and you take your right arm and you kind of put it around like this, kind of like you're buckling a seatbelt right there. You should be able to support this with just that one arm. And then you're going to take your left and you're going to put your hand underneath the neck and kind of put your thumb right here on the back. And it is about, remember we talked about these half numbers? There's 1, 2, there's the second fret right there, 1, 2 down. You're going to want to kind of rest your thumb just kind of right behind there. So I can see, there on the, just behind like that second fret. And I'll tell you, I learned wrong when I was doing it, and this is something, so if you see me doing it wrong, you can call me out. I'm practicing, but it made so much, it helped me so much. And the big reason about it is that it made it so that my hand wasn't tight. I was playing like this, and I was having trouble reaching. And if you look, my hand is going straight. The moment you put your thumb back there, your hand angles over, and that works better. And then you don't want to hold it flat like this. You want to hold it up, just kind of rest it on your hand. Between these two, you've got it secure. And now something fun, because you've got it, you can hold it, you've got this on your lap, you've got your seatbelt kind of around it, you've got your hand ready here to strum, you've got this resting there, and you've got your thumb behind, not like me, your thumb behind, so it's comfortable, it should feel relaxed. Now where to play? On a guitar, most people play down by the sound hole. But if you listen, this is something that's fun to try with the ukulele, is strum down here. It doesn't matter how hard, it doesn't sound very good. As you move up, sounding better. Did you hear how down here and up here? Not good. The best sound is someplace toward the middle. In fact, right just above the sound hole here on the bottom of the neck is the best place to play. Try that. Experiment on your own. Kind of as you go through. You'll hear all of a sudden, right about there, all of a sudden there's just something about it. It's got a better tone. It just sounds just a little bit better. So the place you want to aim for is someplace here, unless on yours it sounds better, maybe a little higher or a little lower, but on mine it's right there. So it's kind of fun to do that. So when we are using this, some people play with their thumbs, they play with their fingers, but most people do what's called plucking. Strumming is when you, they do strumming. Plucking is when you are playing an individual note, like if you have a chord, let me just choose just a chord here, and you go like, or like, that's called picking. We're going to start with strumming, and strumming is when you play all the notes at the same time. So first of all, your hand position is going to be kind of like you're picking up something with your thumb and your finger. You're going to make like a little pinch, and then just let your hand fall. And when you strum, you're going to strum with your index finger, this kind of the side of the nail. And that gives a good sound. If you try using your fingertips, don't work. If you try all of yours, it just sounds kind of, so you're going to pinch and then get the other fingers out of the way, and you're going to pull down. Using that side of your nail. Some people, with a guitar, it's very, very, very common to use something called a pick. I've got a pick here. And with the pick, you pinch it just like you do with your fingers, but you have that in between. And I don't like the sound of it, There's something just kind of loud and brassy about it. Quite often, ukuleles, if they do use a pick, they use one. Here's one I've got. This is made out of felt. And that sounds a little bit better. A lot of people are picking, rather than finger picking, they'll use a pick. But we're going to learn how to do the traditional ukulele way, which is with your hand. So you kind of pinch those together, drop your hand, and you do that. And the movement, you shouldn't be moving your arm or your elbow or anything like that. You should only be moving your wrist up and down. And there are tons and tons of strumming patterns. We're going to learn a bunch of them. But for today, we're going to try just one. The one is just called down, down. And that's just, you just go down, 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 down. I'll just put down, 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 like that. And that's what we're going to be using, or something just down, 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 just like that. Or, so the down stroke is just down, but you also can go up. So we can try doing down, up, down, up, down, up. But there are a lot of patterns. Some of them pretty complicated. One I like a lot is, or you can even do fancy things, or even like different ways like that. There's tons of them. One I've been trying to learn is down, down, up, up, down, up, down, which is I have to be very comfortable with the song to do. But for today, we're just going to do this. So strumming, that is your strumming, and keep everything just very, very loose. Down, up, down, up, down, up. For most of the things we're going to do today, we're just going to do down, down. So now that's not very pretty. That actually is a chord. It's not very pretty, but it sounds good in its place. So we'll start to learn a couple chords. We're going to, first of all, take a look at, I'm putting up now what's called a chord box. And a chord box is what is used to kind of show you how to play. You'll see that it is, it's 4 lines down. And if you look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 lines down. And can you guess what these are? The ones that go across are the frets. And the other thing too I'm going to put up is your finger numbers. You know, we would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, you're not going to, I'll use right hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're not going to use your thumb. You're not going to do anything with your thumb. That's going to sit nicely back there behind. So your fingers are 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 is your pointer, 2 is your middle, 3 is your ring finger, and 4 is your pinky. And so the couple things that the chord box is going to show you is which finger you're going to use. Now, one thing about the ukulele is sometimes that finger will change. What I'm teaching you today is kind of the basic one. Sometimes you might, just the way the chords fall, want to put a different finger when you're making a chord. So the one we're going to do first off is what's called a C chord. And if you look at that little chord boxes, it's showing on the E string, it's showing 1, 2, on the 3rd fret, they want you to put your 3rd finger. So 1, 2, 3, that's your ring finger. Right there. So I've got my ring finger on the 3rd fret. And if you hold that down, I'm just using my thumb now, and I'll tell you why. There's a C chord. That's what it sounds like. So your chord boxes is telling you to go to the last one of these, go down 1, 2, 3, and put your 1, 2, 3rd finger on it. And you push that down, that's C. Now, one thing, when you start learning new notes, you want to, I like to do it with my thumb and listen to each. Every note sounds pretty clear. Sometimes you might hear this. Ooh, there's a problem with that one where your finger is. What that is that clunky sound means that you're not pushing your finger down enough. So if you just push it down a little harder, you can actually use your thumb in the back to help push down, because all the other ones sounded fine. Or sometimes you'll hear this. If I can get it, there we go. Can you hear that little buzz? Rather than, there it is. That little buzz also means that you are not pushing it down enough. Another thing too, how about this one? I've got 2 of them. The first 2 are fine. This one is not good. And what it is my finger is touching that string and not pushing down hard enough there. When you play, don't use a flat finger like that. You want to use the tip of your finger. So you're going to curl your finger a little bit. And the curling of the finger also means that I'm not going to hit this note next to it if I do it flat. So so you want to do, whenever you play, you learn a new chord. I have some chords that I'm working on now that I know that one thing I do is I have trouble with the middle finger, my second finger. If it gets in between, I have trouble with that not being up straight enough. And I hit the chord around it. You'll probably hear me do that with the F chord. It's not a hard chord, but I will sometimes do that. So this is it. And you've got one chord, and make sure that you're pushing hard enough. And now try doing it, pinching and strumming. And you have got a bunch of songs you can play with just that one chord. And a lot of the rounds, things that only use that one chord, and you can use any one chord on it. And so, what about row, row, row your boat gently down the stream, merrily, 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 life is but a dream. So try that. Or you can, if you want, just row, row, row your boat gently down the stream, merrily, 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 life is but a dream. So that's with just the one chord. You can do a lot of the rounds. Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping? Brother John, Brother John. Morning bells are ringing, morning bells are ringing. Ding, ding, dong, ding, ding, dong. And next week I'm going to teach you a one-note chord that we're going to learn a strumming pattern with, but it'll be a version of C, but not this one. So with just that one chord, you can already play a couple songs. So I want to teach you another one. In fact, I'm going to put up the chord box for it. If you look at it now, this one wants us to play not on the last string, but on the first string, on the G string. And if you look down, we're going to count down there. There's 1, 2, and they want you to put your second finger on that. So you're going to take your middle finger and put it there, and just hear how that sounds. That's that song. I wrote it out. It says A with a little M. That means minor. Major chords like C is C major. It's kind of a happy thing, Are you sleeping? Whereas this is kind of a sadder tone. It's a minor chord. And normally, if you just see like a letter, like you see a C, it's going to be C major. Only if it's a minor do they start throwing in the little M after it. So let me show you how that is. So you're just going to put that, going to move my thumb to the right place. You're going to put on the second down right there. And let's listen to, am I playing it? Did you hear that? What did I do wrong there? Ooh, there's a buzz. I'm trying to, so I'm not pushing down hard enough. There we go. But this is what I do quite a bit. My finger, you probably can't see, but my finger is kind of leaning over on that chord a bit. So make sure you keep them nice and high, just with the tip. And there was a buzz. I didn't push down hard enough. There we go. So with it, you can make sure you're using your fingertip. Don't touch the string. And the other thing you can do when you're reaching over the high is you can actually, my hand is in such a way that my actual hand right here is touching the string. So you want to make sure that you keep your hand not flat, but kind of up. If you get here, you're going to get. So keep your hand away from the strings. And another, I've got a round that uses just the A minor. It's one I didn't know, so you might not know it. It's called Ah, Poor Bird, Take Your Flight, High Above the Sorrows of This Sad Night. And it's quite pretty. There's my A. Let me see. Ah, poor bird, take your flight, high above the sorrows of this sad night. Ah, poor bird, take your flight high above the sorrows of this sad night. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble with the words for this. So you pinch your fingers, and I'm gonna do a little faster here. Ah, poor bird, take your flight high above the sorrows of this sad night. Ah, poor bird, take your flight far above the sorrows of this sad night. All right, got the words that time. So the A. And so what we're going to practice is we're going to practice now playing a C chord, and then picking that finger up and going to an A chord, going between the two. But the way I like to do it, I like to do with my C, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I like to do that, and then maybe go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, just to get the practice, do it faster. You don't have to, with this fingering, you don't have your C at the ready, have your A minor at the ready. You're not having to move around too much. In fact, we're going to learn 3 chords. You don't have to move around too much, which is good because I have a song that goes with that. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1. Practice going back and forth between those. And then when you get so you feel confident doing that, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2. And then eventually 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And just practice it. It takes a while to learn. Once you do it, you'll get so you can just feel it. You don't have to sit there and look at your hands all the time. I quite often with new chords have to look. One more to teach you. In fact, what I wanted to do with the F, there's one I want to teach you the F chord too, because we're going to learn today 4 chords. Those chords are in so many songs, but we're only going to use 3 of them. So if you're playing your A chord, take a look. I put up the F thing. You're going to keep your second finger just like it was on the A chord, and if you look there on the 3rd string, 1, 2, 3, right here, on the very top, you're going to put your second finger. So it looks like this. So there's your and so you're going to skip a string and go up, and this is an F chord, which is a pretty chord. So here's A, and then add that F, A, F, A. So you can practice going between the A and the F is real easy because you just keep your F down, and keep the 1 down for your 3rd finger down for your A, and then you're just going to add the 2nd finger for the F. It's not like you had to move around the C. So practice, take some time to practice going from A to F, and listen, do you hear this? That means you're touching, or right there, pushing hard enough, or there's a buzz, got a buzz. And then try going from F to C. This is hard. Go back to F and back to C. And don't feel discouraged if this is your first time doing this. It takes a while to figure it out, and in a while those are going to be like those chords breeze, with that. But I do have a song that I found that I really thought was kind of cute that used those 3 chords. And I like it, and it's It's called My Ukulele. It's by Giselle Appert, who wrote this just for this purpose. She's a teacher and wrote it just for the purpose of adding this chord. And it goes like this. It goes, ukulele is so much fun. I move my fingers when I strum ukulele. Play my ukulele. Ukulele, sweet little ukulele. I strum on it every day, 'cause it's so much fun to play ukulele. Play my ukulele. My ukulele, sweet little ukulele. Ukulele, my sweet ukulele. Okay, now I want to show you the song sheet that I did. The traditional way of having a sheet for the ukulele will have the chords. So we got our G, our A minor, and F, and it's going to show you what chord you play to start off with. Right there at the first line, the ukulele is so much fun. That little red C, I made it red. Quite often if you find they're all black, but I made it red. You're going to play your C chord. And then I move my fingers, you're going to change to an A minor for that whole line. And then ukulele, my ukulele, C, and then you're going to go to an A minor. Oops. And the last line is C and A minor. And you don't run into that F until the very, very end. There is that F chord going to a C and F chord to a C. So I've got this beside. Shall we try this? So we're going to go slow. So first of all, let's get our C all set up. And so you're going to play the C. Ukulele is so much fun. Then we're going to move over. We're going to put our second finger there for the A. I move my fingers when I strum. And then go back to your C. Ukulele, play my ukulele. Then back to the A. Lele. Back to the C. Ukulele, sweet little ukulele. And then it's the same tune. I strum on it every day. Back to the C, to the A, 'cause it's so much fun to play. Back to C, ukulele. Play my ukulele, A minor, lele. Back to C, ukulele. Sweet little ukulele. And now keep that finger down, and we're gonna throw in that second finger for the F. Here's F. Ukulele, my sweet ukulele. Then back to C, lele. And then you got time, get back to that F. Ukulele, my sweet ukulele. All right, so let's play. I'm going to play it slow, and you can try to play along with me. And if you don't get it the first time, there's actually there's a group I like, and it's called the Ukulele Orchestra of Great Britain. They talk about chord Z. Z is Z, and that is just letting your hands rest and just doing that. If you don't know the note, there's a lot of other things when I was first learning. I would go, ukulele is so much fun. I move my fingers when I strum ukulele. Play my ukulele. I would just play my own little chord Z, which is just no chord, but just you can just rest your fingers. So let's try it slow. We'll start with that C. Ready? Here we go. Ukulele is so much fun. I move my fingers when I strum ukulele. Play my ukulele. Ukulele. Play my ukulele. I strum on it every day, 'cause it's so much fun to play ukulele. Play my ukulele. Ukulele. My sweet ukulele. Get ready for that F. Ukulele. My sweet ukulele. Ukulele. My sweet ukulele. All right, so that's a song that uses our 3 chords. Practice the transitions between those things, you know. In fact, a good one to practice going between C C, and F is London bridges. That's where I was starting to go before. That was too early. London bridges, because the transition between A and F is pretty easy, but going from C to F to C is a lot harder. And London Bridge is a good song for that. It actually starts on the F. And I've got the music up beside here. And so it has the F and then the C and then a lot of F and then a C and an F. So it's only two C's, a lot of F. So it's, let's see, we can read here. London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. Oh, I gotta redeem myself. That wasn't very good. Here we go. London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. And the verse is, it's kind of low in my voice. Something that's fun to do is try singing. Try singing like we did row, row, row your boat. Try playing using only an F with that. It's either going to be row, row, row your boat or row, row, row your boat. Sometimes you find the key you like to sing and let's see A. We can't do A with that. So that's that. So that's what we're going to do today. Don't get discouraged. Practice those chords. Go between them. Your C, your F, and your A minor. Those three chords. Learn those three and practice those. Next week we're going to add one more that is going to open up a billion songs to us. All kinds of good things. I think I've got some that are more fun for next week once we learn those. So don't get discouraged. Your fingers may hurt on your left hand because pushing those strings down, you are pushing that into your skin. And this is bad to say. I'm very proud of getting a little bit of callus on my fingers. Just from playing, it builds up so that it doesn't hurt anymore. In fact, I like to show off the fact that my fingers are a little callousy. Over the couple years I've been working on the ukulele. So don't worry about that. Playing it, but if you're doing something and you're hearing like this, you're not hearing that, not hearing it. A clean C. Stop. And listen. Is that right? Okay. Because if you're just allowing yourself to do it wrong, or not wrong is not the word, not do it exactly properly, that's going to become a habit. You don't want that habit. You don't want that habit to exist. You want to make it nice and clean as you can. And especially when we get into some harder chords, it'll take more practice. These are not. The F is always one that I've always for me, and that's the other thing too, is look at, if you're doing it wrong, what are you doing wrong? Because you're spending just a few minutes with me, but you'll be doing this on your own. Learn to be your own teacher. And I'm doing this wrong. What is the problem? Like, what is my problem there? Okay, let's see. That one's okay. That one's okay. Okay, that one's fine. Oh, it's my hand. I gotta get my hand away. So analyze what you're doing. Sit and figure out, what are you doing wrong? Because it will just make it so that you just play better, you learn things faster, and I'm just trying to see what else. Practice, also practice going between all of those chord changes and play around with strumming. Just choose a chord, try going up and down. Try doing, even make up some like. Until that becomes totally natural, that you don't think about it, because what you're gonna be thinking about is more your left hand. So, I've got some things I put onto the Facebook or the YouTube page for you. I've got the song sheets for the songs that I put up, as well as a couple other things that I put up there for you. There are links to things, but also I'm including an email that is for beebeukuleles at Gmail. And if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, if you're having a problem, you need some advice, anything at all. If you have a song you'd like to recommend. I'm pretty good at finding songs that are in good keys. And the way this is going to work is that today and then next Saturday and the Saturday after that, we'll be learning some chords and learning things. And then after that, we're going to go off to Facebook, and so that we can hear each other, we can analyze each other, see what we're doing wrong and what we're doing right. And we'll be doing, I'm theming those. The first one is going to be all songs from movies. And then the next week are going to be spooky songs. So for this month, those are the two. So this one, and there's going to be two more that you're just going to be stuck with me showing you how to do this. I would love to get you so that you can feel confident and competent to play, songs that you like. If there's a song you really love to sing, and also we'll figure out how to find it in a place that's good in your voice and not too high or not too low. So, well, thank you very much. Again, any comments, questions, anything you'd like to do, at the end I'm going to put up the beebeukuleles Gmail account, right? And I will be glad to answer you back. Well, thank you very much.